Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Imaginary Boys. I am one of your two hosts, Mr. Habanero, and I have my secondary, sexy, wonderful, amazing host who apparently hates fudge pops, Mr. Lettuce, right over here.
Yep. I do not like fudge pops.
Yeah, it's okay. I understand. I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan either, so it's okay.
Complete shit tier dessert. I mean, if you're gonna go for a fudge pop, just do yourself a favor to eat a brown cow.
Is it weird that, like, because I know that you mentioned brown cows before, and like all I imagine is just like a straight up cow pie when you say that. Like, it's
Dude,
like
you don't know brown cows?
What? So like every time I hear you say that, it makes me think of. Have you ever seen those cow tails? Have you ever seen those?
No, yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah.
So a brown cow is basically just a ice cream popsicle that's coated in chocolate.
I don't think I've ever had one of those. Yeah. I mean, because like I said, when you were telling me about brown, like when you were saying like, oh, like a brown cow or whatever, I just kept thinking cow tails, like the candy cow tails, which is basically like a piece of like chocolate taffy or whatever with like, I think it's got like some vanilla striping in it, or no, it's got like a cream in it, right? It's like a taffy, like a chocolate taffy. Chocolate.
It's a sugary cream on the same consistency of the Oreo cream.
It's like you bite into it, and if you don't bite into it correctly, it blows like a creamy white load all over your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cow tails, man.
But the thing is it's also kind of dry and chalky as well.
Yeah. It's like when you go out and you buy a donut, like a cream-filled donut, and like you bite into it and it's got cream in it and it blows like the cream on your face. And then you kind of like bite into it and it's kind of crunchy a little bit, like just a little crunchy, like kind of grainy crunchy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what that is all about. We were having like a really big discussion about candy just a little bit ago. So we were just like, oh, what is like top tier? Like, what's the best popsicles? Like, what are the best like fudgesicles or not fudgesicles because Les hates fudgesicles, but you know. So we were talking about Ferrero Rocher and how it's like, you know, you're like when you bite into a Ferrero Rocher, a hazelnut is just like finishing all over you. You're just like, oh yeah, get it in my face. And I'm like, you know, Ferrero Rocher, it's good, but you got to be like Lettuce was even saying it too. You got to be ready for that.
You had to have signed up for Hazel's nuts all of your face.
Yeah, you got to eat the hazelnut. You got to eat the hazelnut.
Speaking of nuts, how was your no nut November, my dude?
It was great. Totally successful.
I failed to. You streamed and it was over.
Oh, I don't blame you. You know, when I watch my streams, I can't help myself either. I just blow my load whenever I see my face, like clearly.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's my porn collection is too intense, and it's like, you know, you know, like you can't ask me, you know, you can't tell a bird that he's not allowed to fly, man.
When we live in a world with all of the anime waifu,
yeah,
like, can you really tell a man of culture that he is not allowed to live his best life?
Yeah, like blowing a load every time he watches porn that he saved on his computer. You know, it's yeah, it's a harsh world, you know. And you know what? I gotta say, I don't like the whole. You know, they're trying to set up this thing of like, oh well, everybody does No Nut November. You know what? I'm putting my fist down and I'm saying that
nobody does No Nut November.
Is okay, good.
Nobody does No Nut November.
Is it just like, do we just accept the fact that it's kind of just a continuously ongoing joke? Is that what it's supposed to be? It's just like a meme that nobody follows.
Like, I'm pretty sure people do follow it.
That's
and there's some people that really should.
Sure.
Like give your bank account a break, you goddamn simps.
Yeah, well, I mean, see, my porn's free, bro. I mean, I don't know what the hell these other assholes are doing, but
Oh no. See, these assholes are these assholes are the ones who think, your titty Twitch stream is, qualifies as pornography. And they're
yeah.
like, gotta pay for that interaction. And I'm like, or you
No,
could just
you
go
don't.
or you could just go to www.transvestiteteasers.com and get the same thing.
Oh yeah, that's a good one, huh? Um Well, yeah, it's like cuz I mean, I personally don't get it cuz like and we've touched on this before. It's like there's so much free porn. And not only is there so much free porn, there's so much free high quality porn. So it's like I don't really get the whole paying for porn. I'm sorry. Like, ladies, if you're in the porn industry and you work your ass off, like, kudos. Like, in all seriousness, I hope that in some way you are making tons of money off of the amazing, work that you're doing. But
I mean, I'm a diehard capitalist, so I'm like, yeah, if you found a market to supply, supply that market, lady.
yeah, like the classic, like, get the bag girl.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Um, but I mean, in spite of that, in spite of me saying that, man, if you're gonna give a dog a bone and you're gonna give me a boner, I'm gonna get that free porn. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely not. One of my favorite TV shows of all time had a wonderful quote.
Mm-hmm.
First, have you seen the TV show West Wing?
I know of its existence. If I remember correctly, my stepmother, she used to love that show. I never
Yeah,
watched it though.
the first episode, some religious figure is in the White House speaking to speaking to the president,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes, Mr. President, a child today can walk in the street could just walk down the street corner, and at any street corner he could see he could buy $5, he could spend $5 and buy pornography. Is that too high of a price to pay for free speech? And the president goes, no, but I do believe $5 is too much to pay for pornography.
That's a good answer.
And I'm like, yeah, this was like, I was like, yeah, that's, and this show came out like right as the internet was taken off.
Yeah,
Like
it's
that episode aired like, no, I mean the internet was still a thing.
mm-hmm.
So like
That was probably like mid 2000s, right? Because I think that's when West Wing was running.
early 2000, like mid to early 2000s.
Yeah. Well, I
The
mean,
first season of West Wing.
I always say that, like, free, like the porn industry paves the path for like business. Like, I mean, like, for example, like the thing about like wasn't it that VHS won
Yeah,
because of pornography?
VHS beat Betamax because of pornography.
Yeah.
DVD beat Laserdisc because of pornography.
Yep.
Blu-ray beat HD DVD because pornography.
Yep. Yeah.
Like
porn writes the rules, guys. You got to understand that. Like,
yeah, wherever porn goes, that medium has won.
yeah. It's like it's the thing of the classic thing about when you're trying to get into advertising and stuff like that. They always say the most important thing to know is that sex sells.
Yeah,
like it sells. That's how you win.
Yep.
Just slap a hot lady on there and you're good to go, or put that beefcake man on the front and you're doing just fine.
Man. And the thing is like Laserdisc, and the thing is like people say that like that's the meme, like VHS beat Betamax because porn.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that there's a lot of underlying things that really beat Betamax.
Yeah.
The get with Laserdisc versus DVD.
Mm-hmm.
Laserdisc players were just unwieldy and expensive.
Right.
Like it was eventually, like, anybody who had had half sense realized DVD was going to do it. But the second porn was like porn was like, oh, we're using DVDs.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the final death knell for Laserdisc. But Laserdisc was killing itself. The
it's
HD
like
DVD
porn was the nail in the coffin, basically.
yeah,
is
the
what you're
HD
saying.
DVD versus Blu-ray fight. That one was an interesting media war.
Mm-hmm.
Because that one looked like a dead ass tie.
I remember that was a big one.
That was a big one. Like HD DVD, and the thing is like they were like studios were like we're Blu-ray, we're HD DVD, and it looked like it's like there was like no real compelling one way or the other.
Yeah,
I mean, Blu-ray kind of had the upper hand.
Well,
because Blu-ray was Sony.
Yeah.
And Blu-ray was in the PlayStation.
That's what I was. So the one thing that I was about to say was one of the major contributors, from what I remember, was Blu-ray had a larger foothold because they technically owned the cheapest Blu-ray player they managed to make the cheapest Blu-ray player on the market. And at the time, it was the PlayStation 3. Yeah, so like if you wanted an HD DVD player, which only played HD DVDs, you had to shell out way more than what a PlayStation 3 costs. And like PlayStation 3s were like, I mean, yeah, they were expensive, but they had Blu-ray built into them. And also
$599.
Yeah, I mean, it's still like
even at the meme price of $599 for the PlayStation 3,
it had utility outside of just Blu-ray, by the way. That was another part of it too.
Right. Like the cheapest HD DVD player was like $700.
Yeah.
But the thing is like that helped, and to be perfectly honest, the Death Knell Laserdisc was the PlayStation 2.
That's interesting. I did not know that. I actually did not know that.
The PlayStation 2 made DVDs affordable.
Right. I mean, that makes sense because it was a big deal at that time.
Like the PlayStation 2 was a lot of families' first optical disc player.
Right.
Like entertainment optical disc player.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It makes sense though, because I mean, like I said, I remember that one of the selling factors for me getting a PlayStation 2 was my parents were like, "Oh, and it plays DVDs." So it's like, oh, well then, it's not just a game machine. It's also a movie machine, so.
Oh, well, no. Yeah. That was one of the reasons why the PS2 was the highest selling game console of all time.
Yeah.
Was that it was a game console also it was the cheapest DVD player.
Yeah. It's really interesting how like I grew up with Sony a lot. Like, I mean, I was into PlayStation 2 and into PlayStation 3. And for a long time, I was even just a hardcore Sony boy because I thought those systems were like the greatest thing on the planet. And now I don't like Sony at all anymore. I think they're terrible. I don't, I don't buy their systems and I don't buy their games, and I just don't. It's like the systems that they make now don't have that similar impact, and I think it might just be because technology has not moved on into the next stage of like the next DVD or the next Blu-ray, and so it's like because of that, the PlayStations don't feel as necessary to me. And it's like also like because everything's digital, it's like, well, my ultimate gaming machine is just my computer now.
Right, right.
It's also my ultimate pornography machine, which is, which is how we started talking about this. So,
yeah, well,
yeah, it's all digital, man.
It's all digital.
Yeah. And pornography is all free, like it should be. And I mean, if you want to be that guy who's going to go and pay for pornography, like, boo, you do you, But it's like, just keep in mind that you really don't have to do that. And just because you're paying money to like a specific like Twitch person, it doesn't make them believe that you exist any more than they did before.
Oh, right. No. She's not going to look at your tier 3 Twitch sub and think, damn, I really need to touch his pee-pee.
Yeah, man.
She's going to look at your tier 3 Twitch sub and be like, hey, I get a pumpkin spice latte later.
I was about to say, she looks at it and she's like, yep, that's another pee-pee. There's another one.
Yeah.
They're all lined up right there in a row, and they're all making me money. Sweet, tasty, tasty pee-pee money.
Got a mouthful of cock.
Oh, man. Well, this episode's off to a great start, by the way. I just thought I'd go ahead. So,
alienating all of our simp listeners.
Clearly, because my audience is clearly nothing but a room full of simps. Clearly,
I mean, probably.
Be nice. Be nice.
I mean, you have my girlfriend, and then a bunch of, and then you know, people who are simping for you.
Okay. So one of the things I was gonna say is I'll be 100%.
Dude, I'll be 100% honest. I'll simp for you all day long.
I know you will. I've seen you do it.
Notice me, senpai.
I'm sorry. Who are you? Oh, money. Sweet. I'm sorry. Who are you? Oh, money. Sweet. One of the things I was gonna say is I actually I don't really see my audience as simps. I mean, I appreciate the people who donate to me. But the thing is too is like the people that donate to me, I actually communicate with them pretty regularly. So
I mean, that's why simps donate to Twitch streamers too.
That's true. I don't know, I think the difference is that like when I think simp, I think of people that are like the you know the slur I mean, I guess it's not really a slur, but it kind of is in a sense. Like the concept of like the pay pig, you know?
I know all about the pay pig.
Yeah, so like when I hear like simp, I think of like pay pigs, which are they're just there to give me money, you know? And like I just don't see my audience, especially the ones that donate to me, I don't see them that way. I never have. Like,
well, that's because you are an endearing sweetheart.
Oh, thank you. But
I mean, because you could easily take the mentality of pay me.
That's true.
And
apparently that works though.
And I mean, really?
Yeah.
You don't think pay me wouldn't get you like an extra $1 a month?
I mean, I see. I don't have the mental. I don't have the mental fortitude to pull something like that off.
You don't. Yeah, you just don't have the balls.
The cojones.
You just don't have the cojones. You have. Yeah, you got all the cock, none of the testes.
It's true. I have small balls, you guys. I do.
Yeah, small. Definitely not able to drop them shits on the table and let it be what it is.
That's my life. I have a ginormous cock that if I whipped it out, it would probably, knock you out the moment that it hits the ground. But teeny tiny little balls, teeny itty bitty little tiny balls. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
It is what it is. I've got all the balls, none of the dick.
So here's a question. Which between those do you think is better? Do you think it's better?
I think having all the balls is better.
Okay. So I'm the one on the shit list over here. Got it. Understandable. Have a nice day.
No. The thing is like you definitely have to just like pull it out to get to get the job done. Nobody has to see my balls to know that I have huge balls. I don't have to T-pose anybody in order to get my point across.
Are you talking about like teabagging?
Well, no, T-pose, like
actually
T-pose.
actually T-posing, like sticking your
like
arms out.
I don't have to naked T-pose anybody to let anybody know that I'm the shit.
What does that mean? Because like I thought what you were trying to say was like teabag somebody.
No, just like T-pose somebody. Standing up straight up. My arms out, my balls just flopping at my knees.
Okay.
I'm naked in this one. I'm naked in this one.
Okay, man. For sure, bro.
Like I don't have to go that far. I don't have to go that far to assert the dominance. You have to be like you have to be like, reach into sweatpants and then, show the tripod.
Oh my god. Just like, have you seen this monster? And they're like, oh my goodness, that's huge. Where are your balls? Don't worry. Don't worry about it. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know how we got. Oh right, because we were talking about simps. How did we get to that? Was simps?
How did we get into dick jokes because of simps?
I don't know. Sometimes this podcast is a total freaking mystery to me, dude.
Oh, like I've embraced. I am Dr. Strangelove. I have learned to just give up and learn to love the tangent.
Good God. I just imagined, like, that scene where he's riding the atom bomb down to the ground? Right? So that scene, I basically imagined you in that scene, but like instead of riding a giant atomic bomb, you're riding like a giant like dildo down to the ground.
No, it's just my testicles. They're like space hoppers.
This is like butt naked lettuce, like flicking like a cowboy hat in the air, screaming. maybe put on some like he's butt naked, but he's got assless chaps.
Yeah, got assless chaps on, riding my big ass space hopper testicles to the ground.
And then like it would be like in South Park where they microwave their balls, so like you hit the ground and you just bounce like back up into the air.
Oh no! If I hit Nagasaki, balls first.
It'd be like an explosive impact, like a crater.
Well, yeah. Instead of a mushroom cloud, it's going to be a mushroom cloud, but it's not going to be made of, like fireball vapor.
It's gonna be like latex and lube, just exploding out.
I'm gonna glaze another Japanese city.
What's the glaze Akihabara?
No. I mean, we would never bomb Tokyo. It'd probably be Nagasaki at that point.
Oh my god!
What are you doing, stepbro-san?
Stepbro-san. Oh, Ani-chan! Why?
Nani?
Nani? Oh man!
The impact sound is just sploosh.
Oh my god. Oh man. So talking about mid 2000s with Blu-ray, DVD and all that goodness. We
Nice transition call.
yeah, man. I thought you would like that.
Let's just ignore the last 10 minutes of dick and balls jokes. And let's get to the topic at hand.
Well, wait. No, if you're going to like curb stomp me right there when I was desperately trying to do a transition, is there something you'd like to add to what we were already talking about? Would you care to?
No. I was just impressed with the skill. Because I was like, as we were like leaving that particular station, and heading over the glorious Dick and Ball tangent, I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, that would have been a great point to transition into what we wanted to talk to. By good transition point.
Bro, someday, I know this is difficult for you right now, but someday you will truly understand that I am, in fact, a professional genius. I am a professional podcaster. I know exactly what I'm doing at all times.
Well, no. I know you're a professional podcaster. We both are. I'm just...
He says as he walks away from his microphone, like a real professional would do.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay, man. It was just perfect.
Yeah, no. Because, like, literally, there was 10 minutes ago, I made a mental note. It's like, oh, man, that would have been a great transition point.
Yeah.
But we're not going to hit that. We're going to go over here first.
Nah, bro.
You gracefully... just snap us right back.
Yeah, man, you gotta do the time warp, bro. Let's do the time warp. Gotta reel it on back, homie.
Just gracefully.
Oh my god, I'm
just rubber band us back 10 minutes ago.
Dude, I'm in tears. I'm in tears over here.
And then we spent 2 minutes just congratulating you on this awesome transition that we ruined.
Because I deserve it, because I'm clearly the most professional podcaster ever.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
All right, so mid-2000s was a great time. That was when PlayStation 2 was at its peak, as we were talking about before. The porn industry had dictated that DVD was the way to go. And the internet was still a young, what would you describe it as? Maybe a young adolescent, maybe? Is that how you describe it? Was it still in baby years, or was it like an adolescent at this point? Maybe like a slightly...
Early to mid-2000s?
Yeah.
It was definitely a teenager.
It was probably a teenager, right? So
yeah, before it got into adulthood and could truly get into degeneracy.
Yeah.
That was it was still kind of young and naive.
I would say that, like, you know, the era of Facebook was like when it became like a young adult, and now like the age of commercialized YouTube is like full-grown, like, business status adult internet, right? Like, does that kind of sound about right?
No, that's about right.
Yeah. It's like once capitalism fully embraced everything that is internet, that's when it's like, okay, we're in the adult business years of the internet.
Yeah, and then the internet gave us Twitter.
Yeah,
So we're now in the mild, disgustingly alcoholic.
Yeah. Well, like, he's still like he still gets up in the morning and puts on the business suit, but like the moment that like internet comes home for the night, the business suit comes off. He's got like the Y shirt and with the alcohol stains, and he's like chugging back like, beers and stuff like that.
No. The internet is not a high functioning alcoholic. The internet is a true goddamn lush. He takes 3 shots before going to work.
He knows exactly what's going on.
He knows the life that he lives.
It's like he takes 3 shots in the morning. He's got like a flask in his pants, and he's like, "All right, I guess we're doing this again. Let's go."
Oh shit! Here we go again.
Yeah, memes are funny, I guess, and takes another shot of his flask. Okay. Before we get into that, adolescent internet, we was a lot of fun. It was during a time when media was pretty young and not quite able to be made money from. Right? I think.
The internet could do things,
Yeah.
and it was all shiny and new,
Yeah, and free. A
and
lot of it was free.
free, and
Yeah.
people weren't afraid to do shit.
Yeah.
So shit they did.
Bruh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one of those beautiful things that came out of that particular era that me and Lettuce are very fond of, which is why we wanted to get into this, was there used to be a website that we adored called Newgrounds. And there's some people who would say that it was the YouTube before YouTube existed.
Yeah,
And
but Newgrounds was so much more than just videos.
no, it was a lot of things.
Because Flash allowed you to be interactive.
Well, because like there was a whole art community, like there was an artist community, there was a gaming community, there was a animator community,
music community.
That's right, they had a music community, and people were just putting things out every single day for free because it was fun. Like nobody was like, this is definitely going to create a business for me in the future. I mean, there's probably people who looked at it and they were like, this is practice for when I turn it into a business in the future. But nobody was like, this directly right here, this work that I'm doing on this website is going to make me money. Nobody ever looked at it like that.
Everybody on Newgrounds wanted to be the next Matt Parker, Trey Stone.
That's right. That's true. That was definitely because there's like so many. God, I even remember some of the ones I used to watch. Like, there was
South Park used to be a Flash animation.
I didn't know that. I actually did not know that. I remember so many good cartoons that I used to watch. There was one that I can even quote some of them because they were so impactful on me. I mean, Newgrounds was where I first discovered Salad Fingers. Obviously, that was David Firth, and I followed David Firth so hardcore. I was so into David Firth when I was
Salad Fingers, Pico.
Oh, Pico was the creator of the website. That was his cartoon, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. David.
Cartoon / game.
My favorite David Firth cartoons were actually, like, I thought Salad Fingers was interesting and fun, but my favorite David Firth cartoons were the ones that were not Salad Fingers. He used to do these really weird, like, fever dream cartoons, and there were some that were so off the wall weird, but so entertaining to me. Like, there were some that I could even right now write this second quote that were, like, my favorite. There was one he did that was all about people going through a fever dream, because the David Firth used to say that he would take his dreams and turn them into cartoons. So they were always really, really freaking weird. And I always remember this one that was my favorite where in one of his fever dream cartoons, there's like a scene where there's a girl and she's standing there and she's like, she has a cat in her arms and she's holding the cat by its legs. So like the two front legs of the cat are in one hand, like in her left hand, and the back two legs are in her right hand. And she's holding the cat up and like pretending it's a machine gun. Like she's holding the cat like it's a machine gun, and she's like holding it up to her face and being like do 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 do, like using like making sound effects to make it sound like she's shooting a machine gun. And she's just doing that over and over again. And then the cat like jumps out of her arms and like gets on the floor and like looks at her. And the cat's just like, you know what? I absolutely hate this. Like I just want you to stop it. Just please stop it. And the girl's like, but I thought this was your favorite thing. Like I thought you loved it when I did this. And the cat's like, no, I hate it, and I just want you to stop. So just stop it, okay? Just please stop it. It scares me. Like, I don't know what it was about that particular scene that was so funny to me. It was always when the cat says, stop it, it scares me. Like, that used to make me laugh so hard every time I would see it. But I loved David Firth cartoons. He was so weird. And like, I don't even know if he ever did anything after that. Like, did he do anything after the Salad Fingers cartoons? Like, because I actually don't know. Did he? Do you know? I could look it up.
Not really. Like, I didn't follow Dave. I mean, I knew David Firth from Newgrounds.
Oh, I almost spilled my coffee all over the place. Holy shit. Sorry about that.
Yeah, but I didn't really follow his work off of Newgrounds.
Well,
if that makes a sense.
He finished the Salad Fingers series on YouTube, if I remember correctly. Like, the final episodes of Salad Fingers didn't come out until he started doing stuff on YouTube, I think, if I remember correctly. Sorry, I'm cleaning up a coffee mess over here.
Oh, you're fine. But yeah, I didn't really follow a lot of the Newgrounds animators or producers off of Newgrounds.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a few that I followed. For example, one of my favorite YouTubers of all time was also one of my favorite Newgrounds creators of all time, and that would be Aaron Hansen, also known as Ego Raptor, who was on Newgrounds. He was famous for doing the Awesome series. Do you remember the Awesome cartoons? The like Metal Gear Awesome. You remember Metal Gear Awesome? Come on.
Not off the top of my head, no.
That was I'm trying to think of like a quote specifically from that one. That was like the really famous one. He did like a whole bunch, like he would take famous games and he would just make like parody cartoons out of them. And they were so funny. They were so funny. And I remember because Metal Gear Awesome was like the first like cartoon that ever led me to Ego Raptor. And I watched it on Newgrounds, and then I started keeping up with him, and I watched everything that guy did. Like everything. I watched every Awesome cartoon that he produced on Newgrounds. And then like years and years later, like way, way later, I found out that he got on YouTube and he started doing Game Grumps. So, which is like this huge, like, you know, thing that he does. It's one of the biggest channels on YouTube.
Right. People know Game Grumps.
Yeah, exactly. And he's super funny. He's still as entertaining as he was back when he used to do Newgrounds. And I love him. I love Aaron Hansen. So I've even simped for him a couple of times. I've gone into his streams and I've sent him money because I thought he was really funny. And I let him know that I was a big fan of his since back in the days of Newgrounds. But I'm absolutely positive that he probably hears that from thousands of people on a regular basis. So that doesn't mean anything to him. So that's okay. But I was a big fan of his, and he definitely... I just realized there's more coffee on my table. Darn it. But he definitely inspired me to do a lot of the stuff that I do on YouTube, like watching him both do Game Grumps and, you know, the Awesome series of cartoons and things like that. So, and yeah, man. What were some of what were some of your favorite things about Newgrounds? Because like clearly you wanted to talk about it. So,
I mean, Newgrounds was the birthplace of actually a lot of things that did have legs offside of Newgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
As Newgrounds started getting smaller.
Alien Hominid.
Yeah, Neurotically Yours was a Newgrounds thing that kind of...
That was Foamy, right?
Yeah, that was Foamy.
Yeah, Foamy. Oh, man.
Foamy.
Stick a fish fry in your eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Foamy. Charlie the film cow stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie especially Charlie the Unicorn.
Yeah, man. They did llamas and hats too, right?
Oh yeah, llamas and hats and Charlie the Unicorn.
Yep.
Were Newground things first.
Oh man, those are classics. Oh, and you know what's also a great one that came from Newgrounds originally? Somebody set up us the bomb. All your base are belong to us.
Well, I mean that's how Newgrounds got its start.
Yeah. That wasn't or like Did you ever?
All Your Base Where Belong to Us was a Newgrounds OG.
Yeah. Did you ever get into like? I feel like that. This guy paved the way for really like. I almost feel like this guy paved the way for like memes in a way. Did you ever watch anything made by Strawberry Clock? Did you ever see anything by him? Do you know
No.
you don't know who Strawberry Clock is?
Not offhand, no.
That's okay. So eventually it started off with Strawberry Clock, and it got so big over time on Newgrounds that people ended up making a whole series of like games, cartoons, artwork, all sorts of stuff that were based on the fruit clocks. And the fruit clocks were all just fruit with clocks on them, and they were characters. But the original start of it was Strawberry Clock. And the whole joke with Strawberry Clock was that he was like considered to be one of the worst creators on the platform. And his stuff was just trolls. So like he would just make like, he'd be like, his first animation ever was Strawberry Clock's B. If I remember correctly, it was B. And it was literally an animation that you would start, and it was just a freeze frame of like a red colored letter B on a white backdrop. And that was it. And it would just stay that way. And that was the whole thing. There was nothing to it. It was just like, and he would just make animations like that. Like he would just make like just stupid animations that didn't make any sense. Like they were like, some people like considered it to be like abstract artwork. Other people said it was like, you know, the purest form of trolling, you know. So and he got huge off of it. They were just stupid things that like made no sense. And like sometimes they pissed people off. Other people thought they were like works of genius. And it turned into a huge thing. Like, you know, like people started basing their own works off of him. Like there were memes based off of what he did. His work was actually considered to be memes back before memes were really kind of a thing in the first place. And he's an interesting dude, and he made a lot of stuff. And I remember like going to his stuff when I was a kid, and I was just like, this is stupid. And then like as I got older, I was like, no, this man's a genius. Like, and then that eventually led me into 4chan.
So, yeah, no. Newgrounds was the gateway drug to 4chan.
It definitely was. Back when 4chan was like, you know, a real threat to everything in existence. Oh man.
Yeah. Before it died of AIDS.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you remember the days when 4chan was like literally like it was a dangerous place? It was literally a dangerous place to be. Like it was totally like you didn't know if like, you know, like raids in 4chan were actually like dangerous raids that would go in and shut down when they like, cyber securities and things like that.
When they did real shit.
Yeah, like they would shut down companies for a day because they were bored.
Yeah. Like, take down an entire religion just for the shits and giggles.
Yeah, or
the last good thing that 4chan ever accomplished was the Scientology Raid.
That's interesting. I was never a part of that. That was probably by the time that I was already out of 4chan.
I mean, that was about the time that I was out of 4chan too, but I heard about it and I was like, good on them. They can still do something.
They still know how to weaponize the internet. Good for them. Good for them. Yeah. But what was interesting was the original inspiration for even bringing up Newgrounds was we were talking about an animator that we loved called Weeble Stuff. Remember Weeble?
Yeah, that was another place that kind of, I don't know if Weeble ever had his stuff on Newgrounds.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did.
It feels like he's one of the people who kind of like launched himself off of Newgrounds.
Yeah, I'm absolutely positive because I used to follow him on Newgrounds. That's how I found out about Weeble in the first place. Like I used to watch his like little cartoons where he used to have the two eggs that would just like roll in on screen and they would be in front of a pink backdrop. And the two eggs would just talk shit at each other. Like it was so simple, but it was really entertaining. And they were two stupid eggs and they would just say stupid things back and forth to each other. And it was fun and silly. And
yeah, Weeble and Bob.
Yeah, Weeble and Bob. And hey, Weeble. Hello, Bob. Hey, babe. No, you stupid. No, you stupid.
I mean, and they literally had that stolen by South Park.
Yeah.
Because that's like Weeble and Bob was basically the
Canadians.
The Canadians in South Park.
Yeah. No, you stupid. Yeah, no, the Weeble and Bob was great. I used to watch all the Weeble and Bob cartoons. And obviously the music videos were great.
Yeah, no, you did a stream yesterday where you were watching some cringy videos.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, you could educate some of your listeners on some of, if you're willing to do it. And
yep.
Because this is one of those streams that you don't keep.
Yep.
I was like, you can educate your listeners on some of the weird shit on the internet from that time frame.
Man. The Weeble music videos were great. They were so genius. And like
you are absolutely wrong though about their best video.
Oh, well, I mean, there's people who would argue that like Look at My Horse is like the best one.
Amazing Horse is not the best one.
Yeah.
It's number 2.
But I always say, like, I don't care what anybody says. I love The Bag of Crabs. That has always been that video brings me to tears every time I watch it. It's so funny. Like I just love, like, my favorite part is always when the guy takes the bag of crabs and he just shoves it in his mouth and he's like, he's like bleeding everywhere and he's running around and everybody's like looking at him like he's a freak of nature. It's just the best. It's just the best. I got a big bag of crabs here. I'm going to put them in my mouth. Oh, yes. I'm going to run round town on a market's day. Everyone will look at me and say, I've got a mouthful of crabs. That's how I sound with a mouthful of crabs.
That's pretty good, but I think there was, now everybody like people who knew were like Badgers. I'm like, no man, Badgers is
not the best one.
Badgers is basic bitch shit.
Yeah, I mean it's good. It's good.
I mean everybody knows Weeble for Badgers.
Yeah,
that's what got Weeble on the map.
Yeah.
But like dig a little deeper.
Yeah.
Kenya is his best song.
Really? That's a good one, but it's not my favorite.
Kenya's the best.
If
only because the lion and tiger are so cute.
Yeah,
and they're just sitting there dancing and gnawing on the giraffe's leg. The giraffe's like,
bruh. So there's one video that I considered to be one of the worst music videos he ever did, but for some reason that I can't explain, I can never forget it. I can never ever forget it. It's always like whenever I think of like Weeble music videos, it's always one of the first ones.
Are you talking about Scampy?
No, I was talking about the owl one. Have you seen the owl one?
Oh, okay, that one.
Yeah. Owls. Everyone is fond of owls, except for mice and shrews and Simon Cowells. Like, and it's funny. Like, it's funny, but like, it's not a very good music video. It's not his most catchy song. The animation is like okay, but for some reason I can never forget that one. It's always one of the first ones that pops into my head whenever I think of his music videos. Besides, Bag of Crabs and My Horse is Amazing. But yeah, I don't know. But his stuff was so good. I actually do hope that he.
No, it was good. And the thing is like what was good about Weeble was like his shit looped perfectly.
It did what perfectly?
Looped.
Oh yeah. He always designed it so that you could, like, for example, you go on YouTube and you could find like all of his music videos set up as 10-hour loops.
Yeah,
like always. It's so easy.
And the thing is, you can't tell where the loop happened.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, except like the only real breaks in that setup was Magical Trevor.
Oh, like I recognize the title, but I don't remember the video.
Magical Trevor, he could have done a little bit extra work and possibly made it, but they have a tendency to end in black and on a dead note.
Interesting.
So it's very clear where the loop happens.
Yeah. I remember, because like we're talking about the fact that those videos would loop. I remember one time putting the Crab song, because the ones on, if you went and look them up on YouTube, not YouTube, if you went and looked them up on Newgrounds, they would actually loop forever. It wasn't like on YouTube. Like,
well, I mean, that's what the Newgrounds player did.
Yeah,
the Newgrounds player just auto looped.
Yeah, and so I remember like way back in high school, going in and like looking up the Crab song, and on Newgrounds, and just having it like loop forever on like some speakers in my radio television classroom, and just blasting everybody out of the room with "I've got a big bag of crabs here." Oh my god, that was so good. Like, they're just like, where's it coming from? Why won't it stop? Why I did this? Oh man. I actually do hope that guy still makes stuff, because I feel like that
his site's still live.
Yeah.
His YouTube video has uploads as recent as earlier today.
Wow. Gee whiz.
Yeah, he's got a holiday. He just released his holiday advent calendar for this year.
That's an advent calendar? Like,
yeah.
Like chocolate? Like, what? Wait,
I don't know. Like, I'm on his YouTube page right now.
That's interesting. I hope that guy makes tons of money off of what he does. He's great. His music videos were absolutely spectacular. What was it? There was one. Did you ever used to watch one that came to mind that I adored? I used to be so obsessed with this cartoon series. I would, like, every time he would upload a new video, like a new cartoon on Newgrounds, I would be on that shit like so fast. Did you ever watch the Retarded Animal Babies cartoons?
No.
No? Oh god. Oh no. Like, it's just like the famous one with like the very first episode he ever released was the Retarded Animal Babies do the alphabet, and it's like, A is for ass, B is for balls. And they would just like do the alphabet, but like with like, toilet humor and sex humor and stuff like that. And my favorite one from that video was always he's like, D is for Lysdexia. Like, you've never seen these? Like the I think it was Puppy, the puppy character. He's like, I have dressed up as the mighty purple penis. I shall. What was it? He's like, well, okay, mighty purple penis. What is your special power? I have the ability to penetrate mighty fortresses. You've never seen these before, Lettuce? You've never heard of like
No.
Oh man, they're so good. They're so good.
But I mean, this is kind of one of the problems with the site of a site like Newgrounds is that it all things considering, it didn't really stay. It didn't really last that long.
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, definitely not as long as YouTube. Like, not at all. Like, I would say, like, but the thing is that, like, I mean, if you wanted to get into like that kind of stuff, the biggest problem with Newgrounds was that you couldn't really monetize it. There's no way. Like, it was not really
Oh, they
designed
could.
for that.
No, they could. The problem with it is that it was highly cyclic.
What do you mean?
Like Newgrounds, like content going to Newgrounds and people going to Newgrounds to see content.
Yeah,
was very in flux. Like it was always kind of uneven.
Well, like expand on that, because I'm not 100% sure what you mean.
If the big creators didn't push something that people wanted to see,
right,
no one went to the site to see all the stuff the little creators were making, so the little creators wouldn't create.
That's interesting. Well, because like, so I mean, and you could probably say that I might be in this particular case.
No one would post, no one would make a video or drop a new game, unless Tom dropped the latest Pico.
See, I was definitely a Newgrounds consumer that would be on that website all the time, and I was constantly looking for new stuff. So like I was trying all sorts of new things, playing all sorts of new games, watching all sorts of new cartoons.
No. There were definitely people who did that, but
it's like a minority.
If you look at youth, yeah, incredibly,
yeah.
Like people didn't spend, like the general public didn't spend time on Newgrounds. Mostly because the mainstream saw Newgrounds as something naughty. That's because it was something naughty.
I mean, there's a lot of porn. There was a lot of porn on Newgrounds.
There was an incredible amount of porn, or just like a lot of the games were gratuitously violent.
Yeah. They were.
You know, one of my favorite Newgrounds things was FDA.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember? Well,
I don't remember it by that title.
You don't remember FDA?
Well, what does that mean?
Okay, well, FDA was a creator.
Oh, okay.
Who made videos for mature audiences, even though a lot of people made things for mature audiences. Their shtick was song parodies injected with anal sex jokes, because FDA stands for dead ass.
Bruh. Oh, I don't think I mean, you know, I definitely watched a lot of, you know, like there were a lot of pornographic cartoons and a lot of pornographic games on Newgrounds. And let me tell you, as a young, you know, teenager, as a young hormonal teenager, I definitely watched and played a lot of them. I'm not going to lie about that. But that in particular doesn't sound familiar to me. I don't know if I mean, it's possible that maybe I saw some of it, but it didn't like impact me the same way. So I don't remember it. But
well, yeah, it was late, like early Newgrounds stuff.
Okay.
Like we're talking about 2005 Newgrounds.
That is really early, actually.
Yeah, this was early Newgrounds stuff. But yeah, no, that's basically what it was. It's just a bunch of videos with musical parodies. They were famous. They did musical parodies and stuff, injecting a lot of anal sex jokes.
Huh. Yeah, I can't say that I remember that, but you know what you did remind me of by talking about, you know, the graphic stuff, along with particularly the year you said, like 2005. Did you ever hear of a website called Joe Cartoon? Did you ever watch or hang out on Joe Cartoon?
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned Joe Cartoon.
Yeah. That was one that I was really into as a kid. I love Joe Cartoon.
I mean, everybody loved Joe Cartoon.
Mommy, Mommy, I got poopies. Poopies for you. Poopies for you in my diaper. You need to change me, Mommy.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
And one of my favorites that I always remember, I hold it very dear to my heart, was there was one called James Brain. Did you ever remember that one, James Brain? It was a cartoon / video game from Joe Cartoon, and the whole point of it is it's just a guy who's just beating the crap out of himself with a bat. He just like hits himself in the face with a bat, like over and over and over again, like just over and over and over again. And that shit used to make me laugh so hard when I was a kid. I thought it was the funniest shit I ever saw. And
I mean, yeah, who didn't spend all the time in the world just watching Frog in a Blender?
Yeah, I was about to bring that one up. Frog in a Blender. Or didn't they do like Fish in a Blender too? Wasn't Fish in a Blender another one?
They did everything in a blender at one point.
Yeah, it's like you used to like play with the settings on the frog, and he's like, "You're a pussy. You can't. You don't have any balls. No balls." And he would just like make fun of you until you finally started he would start going around. Yeah,
Joe Cartoon is still around, and it's like they even have like LeBron James in a blender.
Really? They just don't want to give up the ghost on that one, do they?
Well, I mean, when you're known for something,
yeah,
you do the something.
Yeah.
I mean, Hillary Clinton in a blender.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, because I remember so many, like, I remember there was one about, like, two rednecks. I can't remember what the cartoon was called, but there was one about two rednecks, and they were fighting over, like, the last moon pie. Do you remember that one? It's like, hey, Bob, did you eat my moon pie? Yeah. Bob, that was my moon pie. Yeah. It's like, it was just like, I don't know. I just, it was funny and I loved it. And I was just a big Joe Cartoon fan. I even remember, God, it's so nostalgic for me to think about it. I remember like living in my stepmother's house. And, you know, we used to have that old clunky, stupid Gateway desktop computer. And like my parents would be watching like an adult television show that I was not allowed to watch, which means they were probably watching like some rated R movie or something that I wasn't allowed to watch at that time. So they would be like, okay, well, you can go into the office and use the computer and you can watch cartoons or play games or whatever. And I would be like, you got it. I'm not allowed to watch the rated R movie. Time to go and watch some cartoons. And then I'd hop on to Joe Cartoon.
Time to watch some rated R cartoons.
Yeah, exactly. I would go into the office, turn on the Gateway computer, and start watching Joe Cartoon, and you know, playing Frog in a Blender, or watching James Brain, or you know, the two rednecks that are fighting over the last moon pie, or the annoying baby who, you know, his sad alcoholic smoking mother would just let the baby abuse her. Like, you know,
Donkey Kong.
Yes, yeah. Like I even am totally convinced that like Stewie Griffin from Family Guy is based off of the baby from that cartoon, from that Joe Cartoon. I'm totally convinced of it.
I mean, possibly. Although I think maybe because Family Guy has actually surprisingly been around for a lot longer than people realize.
I think Joe Cartoon is older than Family Guy, I think.
Possibly.
Think. Yeah, because I didn't watch... I mean, I remember watching the first season of Family Guy, and that was after watching Joe Cartoon. I'm pretty sure. Are you going to look it up?
Yeah. Well, no. I was just trying to think of the timeline, because Family Guy... I guess I am going to look it up. Because I thought Family Guy was very like like 2000, 2002.
Yeah. I don't
And the thing is,
remember.
the problem with the thing with Family Guy is that it got canceled. Yeah, because Family Guy's been around since '99.
Really? That I was not expecting.
Yeah, Family Guy got canceled and then repurchased and then re-released by Fox.
Right. Was it originally supposed to be on like Adult Swim or something? Because that would totally be like I feel like that would be an Adult Swim thing or something. God, Adult Swim. Goodness
No,
gracious.
no, it wasn't. It wasn't Adult Swim.
Yeah.
It was okay. No, it was originally Fox,
Mhm.
and then Fox yeeted it, and then it ended up on Adult Swim.
And then Fox bought it back or something.
And then Fox revived it, in 2004. So everybody knows Family Guy from like 2004 forward, which was actually its fourth season.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think that's probably when I started watching it. Was when it came.
Yeah,
back
that's when
to
everybody.
Fox.
That's when everybody started watching it. But people, but a lot of people don't realize is that it did. It actually is a lot. Is like 99.
That's impressive. I did not actually know that.
Yeah. So no, Stewie is not based on
Joe
anything
Cartoon
from
Baby.
Joe Cartoon. Yeah, no.
It's too bad. Because Joe Cartoon did it first. They did it first. Another one that I watched a lot, and I know we've already talked about this a bunch already, was I watched a lot of Homestar Runner back in those days too. I was definitely.
I mean, everybody did.
Yeah.
That was another site that.
Email.
I don't think the Brothers Chaps actually got their start in Newgrounds.
No. I went to the Homestar Runner website to watch those cartoons.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but at that time frame, because you have Neurotically Yours,
yeah,
and Joe Cartoon also got his start in Newgrounds.
Really? Because I actually used to watch the Joe Cartoons from the official Joe Cartoon website. I don't remember ever watching them on Newgrounds. I mean, you're probably right. I just never did it. You know,
he got a following on Newgrounds, and then was like, I can make my own site now. Yeah, and that was one of the things that actually hurt Newgrounds. Was as soon as somebody made it on Newgrounds,
they would make their own website.
They'd make their own website because you could throw banner ads on your own website and make money.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense.
And that's how these content creators made their money back in the day. Was they got their following on Newgrounds, and then they jumped to their own site.
Yeah.
Once they got a following, and they may or may not even at that point start keep pushing the Newgrounds.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty interesting.
So somebody who likes Joe Cartoon released monthly, but you could count on him releasing monthly,
right?
Whereas in Newgrounds, a lot of the big creators weren't as clockwork.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They would just kind of upload when they see fit or when they were capable of doing so.
Yeah, so a big creator like, Fulp.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
If Tom released something, then all the small creators are like, oh, everybody's back at Newgrounds. Let's try to push what we're looking for.
That's interesting. See, I never knew that was a thing because I was on Newgrounds all the time looking for something all the time. So like that blows my mind that it would come in waves. I had no idea that was a thing.
The more mainstream of the Newgrounds fans, they would if the zeitgeist brought them back to Newgrounds, they would go to Newgrounds. But Neurotically Yours.
Yeah,
Foamy,
I was. Oh man, I was so
Foamy got his own website, and Ian Mathers would release regularly on his own website.
God, so many of those cartoons are coming back to me.
So people would go there, and that kind of was like why Newgrounds was never really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
and then when YouTube became a thing, Newgrounds kind of died.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, it's not dead, but it's still around, but it's a shell of its former self.
Yeah.
Especially since Flash is now kind of not a thing.
Yeah, it's difficult for them. I mean, sometimes I even forget that there's still a website. Like, I just kind of decided, like, at some point, mostly because of YouTube, that it's like, oh, there's no reason to go to Newgrounds anymore. You know, like, why would I bother? I've got YouTube for my video content and music. No, I've got YouTube for my video content. I've got Pandora for my music, and I've got, you know, Steam for my games. So, I mean, it's cool that Newgrounds is a hub for all of those things, but it's just like, why bother, you know? So, but yeah, I used to be such a big fan of Neurotically Yours and Foamy and stuff like that. Like the, I used to love the squirrel that was like the cousin of Foamy, who was like paranoid of everything all the time. And, I remember, like, he's like, I'm afraid of getting a stigmata in your eye. He's like, do you mean a stigma? He's like, no, I mean a stigmata.
I mean astigmatism? No, a stigmata.
No, I mean a stigmata in your eye.
And then his pupil starts bleeding.
Yeah. He's like, the stigmata. His eye just profusely bleeds everywhere.
And the cousin's name was Pilsy.
Yeah, because he used to be a drug addict. Well, he was he had like
medications.
Yeah, well, because like he had not, was it like schizophrenia or something that he had to take medication for all the time or something? Something
like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it was ever clearly. I don't think it was ever clearly stated what his medications were for, but he had the pills.
Yeah. And I don't remember if this was Pilsy or if it was Foamy. I think it might have been Foamy. But they had an episode that I loved so much that was where they're talking about like their greatest fears. And and Foamy's like, oh, my greatest fear? My greatest fear is my teeth exploding out of my mouth. She's like, what? What do you mean your teeth exploding out of your mouth? He's like, well, you know, when you eat something really, really hot, like you eat something, like you eat some French fries and they're super hot, and you're like, oh, those are hot. It's like, so you like, you know, you eat your French fries and they're really, really hot, and you're like, oh, that was so hot. I need to put something cold in my mouth. I need to cool my mouth down. So you go and you get your iced coffee and you drink the iced coffee, and then, you know, when you got the heat and it expands, and then you got the cold and it retracts, and you put the hot thing in your mouth and your teeth are expanding, and then you put the cold thing in your mouth and then your teeth are retracting, and then boom, they explode out of your mouth. I'm scared of my teeth exploding out of my mouth.
Yeah. And actually, Foamy's still around.
Yeah, I believe it. He's like an icon. He's like an internet icon, dude.
No, but Tremaine just looks ugly now.
Oh, well, she was always ugly. Wasn't she always supposed to be ugly?
No, like, she was always she was like, you know, she wasn't ugly always. No, it's just kind of weird.
I always thought that she was kind of supposed to be the representation of, like, you know, a greasy, you know, like, teenager female who's kind of, like, a little bit nasty, you know? Because she doesn't care.
I mean, she was, you know, the goth chick.
Yeah.
And, I mean, with sometimes the goth chicks, you take the rough with the smooth.
Mm-hmm.
But now she's just, like, kind of super fat and her hair isn't very good.
Okay. Wasn't her hair always kind of pokey and it was like green or something? Like she dyed it green and purple? Okay.
Yeah, like her hair was okay. Now she's mostly bald with just like a tuft of hair for her, like her bang. Like she shaved everything except for her bang.
All right. Another one that just came to my mind was the Amityville Toaster. Do you remember that one? Amityville Toaster, spooky evil toast. Toasted hand, num num num.
Yeah, num num num.
Because he's like, yeah, I went over to the Amityville house and they were having a garage sale. Okay, thank you, police. He's
Get
like,
him!
yeah, go get him.
Go get him!
So he was like, yeah, I went over to the Amityville house and they were having a garage sale, so I picked up some stuff. It's like, you know that house is haunted, right? And he's like, yeah, but check out this toaster I got. It's a great toaster. It's like, and it toasts everything, and you never know what you're gonna get. Like, you put in white bread and you toast the white bread. You put in white bread, you toast it, and it comes out as wheat bread. So like, you can put just about anything in it. It comes out different bread. It's like, oh, that is kind of interesting and weird. That's really cool. It's like, yeah, but they told me not to put any bagels in there. It's like, what happens if you put a bagel in there? I don't know. And then they like put a bagel in there and they toast it, and it pops out as a toasted hand. Like the Amityville Toaster, spooky evil toast, toasted hand, num num num. Oh man, those were like, oh man, they're so good, so good. Good old days of the classic internet cartoons and games and things like that. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. We can never go back to those times again, Mr. Lettuce.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, like even now, like the things that still exist, like Foamy. Foamy just isn't the same anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't hit like it used to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was also funny. It was Newgrounds that made me realize that I love horror games. Did you know that?
Well, no, I did not know that, but now I do.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out like how that happened.
There were some really like one of the ones that I remember was I think it was called like it was like something Mortis, or what was that game called? It was a point and click horror adventure game where it was like something Mortis or something like that.
It would have to be point and click adventure.
Yeah. And it's like burned into my brain because it was like, I remember when I was a kid and I played it because it was a big deal. It was really popular, and it was on Newgrounds at the time only. And it was like a black and white sort of sepia, like point and click horror adventure game. And it scared the crap out of me as a kid, but I loved it. Like, I genuinely loved it, and I thought it was so fun. And I like, that was when I like for the first time realized that I loved horror games. Let me see if I could look it up real quick. I mean, I feel like I could probably find it.
One of the things I attribute Newgrounds for is creating and popularizing the tower defense genre.
Yeah, the first ever tower defense games I ever played were on Newgrounds. You're totally right.
Tower defense games were the shit in Newgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
And there was also this other game I played a lot in Newgrounds called Gravity Golf.
Yeah.
That game was also pretty cool.
Ex Mortis, that's what the game was called. It was called Ex Mortis. And it was it was a point and click adventure horror game on Newgrounds. But yeah, no, dude, Newgrounds like introduced me to all sorts of different kinds of games that I'd never experienced or played before, especially when it came to like new types of genres and things like that. And I was like, because it's like when you have like that free Newgrounds platform, you get to try all sorts of different kinds of things that like, you're like, I don't know what this is, but it's not going to cost me anything, so I might as well give it a try, And because of that, it opened my eyes to like all sorts of different kinds of things that I never thought I'd be into, Like I said, like if it wasn't for Newgrounds, I wouldn't have realized, Ex Mortis on Newgrounds. I never would have realized that I loved horror games. And I continued to play more horror games after that one as well. And like, for example, like if I had not gotten into Ex Mortis on Newgrounds, I probably would have never looked into Silent Hill or Resident Evil back when I was like playing with my PlayStation 2 and stuff like that. And Silent Hill used to scare the crap out of me when I was a kid. But yeah, and then I just kind of got deeper into it and just realized that I loved horror games, So
now here you are.
Yeah, here I am playing horror games all the time on my channel.
Dumpster diving Steam for whatever indie horror game you could come across.
Oh, they're so good. Like, I mean, sometimes they're not so
for
good.
interesting definitions of the word good.
Bro, don't you dare question my taste in walking simulators. How dare you?
I told you, man, I have huge balls.
But you don't like...
And they're made of a very fine brass.
Well, but for some reason you don't have the balls to make your way through horror games? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Well, no, I have balls to make my way through horror games.
Oh, okay, all right.
I just, I'm not going to spend $10 so that I could spend 30 minutes of my time trying to figure out the control scheme just so that I could be, randomly jump scared at one point.
Yeah, Summer of 58 was pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I appreciate. I respect my time.
Well, I don't. So take that, man. Speaking of not respecting my time, I actually watched 3 seasons of a terrible anime. It's just to get that out there. I gotta say it.
So you watched anime?
I watched Shut up. I watched a terrible anime is what I did. I did it because I had somebody who recommended me this anime, and like I remembered watching like a few episodes of it in the past, and I was like, no, I don't like this. And like I talked to this person who was just like, no, it's good. Like it's really good. Like just watch it, watch it through and like tell me what you think when you get done with it. And so I watched these 3 seasons of this anime, and it was so bad. Like season 1, boring, so boring. Season 2, so boring. And then like season 3, hey, it's not boring, but holy shit, is it stupid. It was so stupid. So bad. So yeah, I wasted like 2 days binge watching 3 seasons of an awful anime. Oh man. So yeah, don't you dare talk to me about wasting time, because apparently I'm an expert on it.
No, you definitely have me beat there, man. I don't know. Like I try not to waste time because you may not know this about me, but I'm not a young man.
Mm-hmm.
I probably don't have a lot of time left.
Mm.
So what precious few free times I have, I've got to be very mindful of it.
Yeah.
Like tomorrow I'm gonna binge watch Donkey Kong on a loop.
No, you know what? I have no right to question it. That is genuinely a good use of time.
Yeah, no.
That is genuinely a great use of time. So clearly you've
on the donkey.
You've clearly gotten me beat. I mean, I can talk about bad anime all day, but man, you've got me beat when it comes to watching Donkey Kong on like a 10-hour loop. Like,
yeah.
Whew, oh baby, I don't know. I can't compare myself to that. Man. I don't know. I've got nothing good. We could probably just end the podcast right here after that one. Like, for sure.
Remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Or if you want, you can hit that dislike button.
It does nothing, so go for it.
It does not. Well, I mean, it lets...
It hurts my feelings personally, but you'll never know.
Yeah, no.
I'll never tell.
You can convince yourself that you're the only person who dislikes this podcast. Maz.
Is it officially time for us to talk crap about Maz because we know she doesn't listen to the podcast?
Yeah, that bitch.
Oh man. But yeah, it's funny because the only thing though about wasting that time is I talked to my dad about it, and he was just like, well, it doesn't have to be a waste of time. He's like, just make a review video about it, and then it won't be a waste of time anymore. like, maybe we'll see. Maybe I want it to be a waste of time. Maybe that's what I actually wanted to do.
To make review video. This is shit.
Well, I had like a lot of things to say about it. Like, it's just like, I like, because I'm very picky about like movies and anime and TV shows and stuff like that. And you saw my tweet, right? Because you even responded to my tweet, so you know what tweet, like the tweet.
That was what that tweet was about.
Yeah, it was about that terrible anime I was watching.
Oh, okay. Well, I said what I said.
Yeah, you did indeed.
Because I'm pretty sure I was correct.
All you did was call me a weeb. That's literally all you did.
I answered your question. You said, where did I go wrong? And I'm like, you became a weeb.
See, I feel like, though, that calling me a weeb is an insult to actual weebs, because I'm not, like, the purest form of weeb. Like, I don't have tons of, like, anime merchandise in my house. I don't have, like, 600 waifus. You know, I don't, collect every single...
Okay. Calm your tits.
I mean...
If it was fiscally reasonable for you to have, like, all these anime collectibles and your waifu pillows, let's be real.
I don't think I would.
Mister, I bought a box of Magic D&D.
Hey, dude, that is a really nice $300 doorstop. You back the off.
No, legit. I get it. But if you,
I like my $300 doorstop. Thank you very much.
But if you but let's face it. If it was fiscally responsible, you had the disposable income. Mm-hmm. You would have a waifu pillow collection.
So it's actually kind of interesting. Because I was
you would have one of the anime mouse pads.
Yeah.
With the booby wrist rest.
So what's really interesting is I was talking to somebody about this, not specifically about anime merchandise, but I was talking about with somebody how I don't like spending lots of money in general. Like, if I can get away with having what I have, then I don't like purchasing lots of things. And I don't like, I mean, like, for example, like, I bought a Nintendo 2DS on sale a while ago. And the reason why I bought it was because I have been following and trying to get my hands on Nintendo DS for years, but I've been following it for a sale price, right? I've been like tracking one for like a sale price, and I've been trying to get one for the best deal. And What I did was I finally caved in, because I had the sudden realization that I was following the sale prices for a while, and they were going down and going down and going down. And I was like, okay, eventually it's going to get to the point where I'm actually comfortable with buying it, right? And then basically what happened was the point came where they were like, okay, Nintendo 3DSs and DS XLs or whatever are officially out of production. We're not making them anymore. And then all of a sudden, those prices started going up again. And I realized that I was never going to be able to get them into the price range that I actually wanted. And I spent a lot of time just watching those prices, and I was like, okay, it's just continuously going up.
You were waiting for the sub 100 2DS or something.
Something like that, yeah. And I basically got to a point of where I was like, there's no way it's ever going to get into that range, and it's now technically considered a quote-unquote collector's item. So
at one point the DS Lite you could get for under $100.
Yeah. I eventually caved in, and I bought a Nintendo DS XL slightly used for like $150, which I felt like was pretty good. And I realized also that it was just going to keep going up because, like I said, it's technically a collector's item now, right?
Right.
So overall, I put that off for a long time. like a really, really long time. And I only bought it because what started happening was my current 3DS, which is a Generation 1 3DS. I started noticing it was having problems with playing certain games that I had that were more powerful, that were produced in the later generations of the 3DSs.
Right.
So I was like, okay, if I want to keep playing these games, which I sometimes still do, I have to upgrade to like the last generation, and I have to buy it now before it's become so much of a collector's item that it's like $300, $400, $500. So I caved and bought it. My point is that I don't like buying tons of things. In fact, I've been on a role of doing my best to like save my money and keep it, just coming in and sitting, because I have like a general goal for what I'm trying to do with my money. I don't like buying lots of frivolous things. I mean, I've actually given up on buying magic cards. I mean, I bought that $300 box a while ago, but I'm not buying singles. I'm not planning on buying any more boxes. I don't even keep up with Magic news at all anymore. I don't even play the goddamn game anymore. Like, I don't have anybody to play it with, so I've basically given up on playing the game. And then on top of that, like, I'm not buying any other kind of merchandise of any sort. Like, I'm not buying any anime merchandise. Like, I'm just very weird about spending money in general. The only time I've been recently thinking about spending money was I'm thinking about upgrading my lighting situation for, um, you know, recording and
Get yourself like a ring light or a something, or just like something to put behind your monitor while you're recording.
yeah, I was actually looking into a ring light. So that was something I was actually interested in purchasing. And I actually have the money. Thank you, Patreon members, by the way. Um, and also the various donators that I have coming in and out donating to me. Because the amount of money that I have saved up from the donations on the channel are actually going to allow me to probably purchase a pretty decent quality ring light pretty soon. My overall point is that I think that, in all seriousness, if I had the if I was super comfortable, like, let's pretend that I'm like, I don't know, like a humongous, gigantic channel on YouTube that's making tons of money hand over fist, no problem.
Or you had something like my job where you definitely make more. Uh, you definitely make more than your cost of living
Yeah.
dictates,
Yeah.
and
Like,
you can live reasonably comfortably because you don't have a crap ton of other bills.
well, so if I was successful enough where I was like, I get to live in the state that I want to live in, I get to buy a house and be comfortable. I can get the perfect, recording setup, and like, if I had all those things under control and they were legitimately not a problem for me to maintain, and also I still had random expendable income out the wazoo, yeah, I would probably buy more anime merchandise for sure. But the thing is that if I was in a situation where, um, like, if I was in a situation where I could have expendable income and I was like a little more comfortable than I am now, I would probably still not spend my money on, like anime merch and stuff like that. So,
I feel you.
yeah. Um, I just I don't know. Like, for example, like there's even like some books that I want to get, and like I'm like, nah, I don't really need those, so I don't buy them. I'm just not like it's not that I'm so diehard into anime or any hobby for that matter at this point that I'm like spending just uncomfortable amounts of money on it. Like, for example, when I was in my peak of Magic, collecting, like Magic card collecting, I was still not overspending money. Like, I've never ever in my life felt like I was genuinely addicted to Magic the Gathering, you know? Um, because like I would only buy boxes of cards when it was reasonable to do so. And that was pretty rare, so I've just never been that kind of a person. So I think that my attachment to wanting to actually save up my money for bigger, larger purposes will always defeat and trample on my weeb spirit. So there you go.
Well, I sit corrected then.
It's okay. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I really do, because like also I'm really picky about stuff like that. Like for example, I only have like one anime waifu, so it's like I'm not. I mean, admittedly, I actually watched an anime today, and I was like being 100% honest with you right now, because you brought it up. I was watching an anime today, and I was like, this one girl character in this one anime that I really enjoy. I might buy a figure of her at some point, maybe. Like I actually thought about it. Oh man. So I don't know. Maybe I'm a big fat liar.
And then the image that popped in my head was that scene from Grandma's Boy.
The one with the Barbie in the bathroom?
The Laura Croft Barbie in the bathroom.
Yeah. I knew that was the one you were talking about. Oh yeah, you're a dirty girl, aren't you, Laura Croft? Oh my god.
I can't stop. It feels so good.
Dude, that movie's like a classic. That movie's so good. It's so good.
It is greatly underrated.
Oh, it's such a good movie. Like, oh, great film. But yeah. I've always been kind of surprised. Like, I know we talked about it already, but I'm always amazed that you're not into anime. Like, especially because you're into hentai so much. Like you're into hentai and you don't like anime, and I think that's weird. Whereas, like, it weirds me out that you and me are opposites on this. Like, you don't like anime, but you like hentai. I love anime, but I'm not really a big fan of hentai. Like,
well, I just never really had the anime exposure.
Yeah.
Like, except for, like, as I said, like the mainstream stuff.
Sure. That's okay, man. Well, Golden Boy isn't really mainstream, is it? I don't think that's mainstream.
Well, no, but I did get a random, like, I got an exposure to it because of something else I was into, and then somebody's like, "Hey, check this out," and then I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah. Golden Boy was really good, by the way. I did actually really enjoy that, so thank you.
You're welcome.
It took me a little, like, I wasn't a fan of the first episode, but like definitely by the time it got into the second episode, I thought it was great for sure. But yeah.
Well, the first episode he does some really squicky stuff.
Yeah, because I feel like it's one of those things where like they really want you to it's one of those things where they really want you to know who he is, so they overdo it.
Yeah, they wanted you to see see him the way everybody else sees him.
Yeah.
So that they could do the character growth arc.
Yeah.
And then you understand how everybody else's opinions change too.
Yeah, I will say this. He's definitely got a thing about bathrooms that's a little discomforting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was something I was like, oh, did you actually have to go that far? Oh.
Yeah, he does, and he does it in almost every episode, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, no, yeah.
It's like,
when you've got a kink, you gotta fly that shit.
Oh man, he loves it all, doesn't he? He loves it all.
He does.
All right.
Again, if you haven't watched it, you should probably, listeners, if you haven't watched it, it's definitely worth it. It's kind of like the Porky's of anime.
It kind of is, yeah. Motorcycle Girl is definitely my favorite. That was my favorite episode. It was so over the top. It was awesome. Watching him bike on the power line. Like on the power line is so good. I was like cry laughing through that whole episode. It was so good. But yeah, man. Well, I will say this. It was really fun reminiscing with you on all this stuff. But I think we should probably wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But our listeners, if you weren't alive or weren't of an appropriate age in the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s, check these things out. They're still around. Everything's been archived up on YouTube, if not. But Joe Cartoon, HomestarRunner.com.
Yep.
It's called Ill Will Press, featuring Neurotically Yours for Foamy the Squirrel.
For Foamy the Squirrel, yeah.
Yeah. Newgrounds is still up. You can still play Pico.
That's right. That's where Alien Hominid originated from. That's a great game.
Check out FDA if you like anal sex jokes. There's another small one that I'll suggest.
Strawberry Clock.
Oh, there's Strawberry Clock, and then Idiots Anonymous.
Oh, I think I know that one.
The Boston guys.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
They were credited with popularizing the long, uncomfortable pause in Flash videos.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That series kind of started that as kind of like a comedic effect. the uncomfortable pregnant pause.
Yep.
Yeah. No. If you're not familiar, familiarize yourself. This was the internet when it was still good.
Retarded animal babies.
Yeah.
Educate yourself for sure.
Donkey Bong on Joe Cartoon.
Frog in a blender.
But anyway, no. The internet used to be good back in the early 2000s.
It was definitely an interesting place to be, that's for sure.
And then it turned to poop.
Yeah. And then RuneScape happened. Because that was when RuneScape was in its peak. It was in its peak at that time. I remember. Oh man. I
never played RuneScape.
It's okay, neither did I. I thought it was stupid. I had a couple of friends that tried to get me into it, and I was like, I don't want to play this. This game's ugly. Why would I play this?
Why can't I'll just keep playing Diablo 2 and just bleh.
Excuse me, but I'm all about that MapleStory lifestyle back in 2006. Thank you very much. All right. Well, we do have to wrap it up, so I'm going to say all those wonderful things. Thank you guys so much for being out here. We had a good time. This was a really fun episode reminiscing on all the internet stuff, so I hope you guys enjoyed that as well. But if you haven't already, go ahead, and if you enjoyed this, go ahead down below and hit that like button. Maybe leave a comment telling us about your experiences on the internet in the early 2000s. That would be interesting for us to kind of hear about. If you recognize any of these things and have good memories with them, share it down below as well. We want to hear it.
And if there's something that we forgot to mention and you want to shout it out,
yeah, tell us about it.
Share it in the comments
for sure.
I mean, we probably just left it out because of time constraints, but.
Or because it sucks,
because you're a subhuman and your taste is trash.
Yeah, we'll definitely be more than happy to tell you that your taste sucks and your life sucks and there's nothing good going on with you at all.
You're bad and you should feel bad about it.
Yeah, definitely. So just, you know what, if you get to that point and we let you know about it, just like stop, okay? And don't ever darken our doorway ever again. But we do love you. And we also, while I'm saying that, you should make sure you go in the description below and send us donations through PayPal and Streamlabs.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we'll do that before you go back to your mom and berate her for not having an abortion.
Definitely, bro. If you're not already, please subscribe. After hearing all that, please definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell.
We love you until you suck.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you're subscribed, you don't suck.
Yeah, the moment you press the subscribe button, the suckage goes away, and we love you immediately. So
subscribers have a suck shield.
Yeah, and if you're already subscribed, it's very possible you still might suck, but we love you because you're subscribed, and that's okay.
No. If you are a subscriber, there is no way that you could suck.
All right, my bad. You don't suck. Your taste might suck, but you don't.
You are fully immunized from Suckvid-19.
And
just
you
being a subscriber.
Lettuce, and you said that I didn't have the balls to say you pay me.
Bruh. Yeah, okay, you didn't have the balls to say you pay me. Bruh. I said you pay him. Bruh. And you're like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. In the description below, I also have a Patreon. I love all my Patreon members. They treat me so good by sending me money on a regular basis, which goes straight towards the channel. Like I said, I'm probably going to be improving the lighting. So thank you, Patreon members, which include Bo Falcon, Fajuk Enterprises, James P, Miss Rebecca, as well as Scorpio. Guys, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. And I think that's pretty much it. So other than that, thank you guys for being here. This was a good time. And that's kind of it. Follow your dreams, be good to each other and yourselves. And the imaginary boys are Audi 5000. Goodbye, everybody.